British spy movie.
Okay, we're live.
Coming at you live from the studio. What's your address? Oh.
Yeah. So we're going to start the show off by telling the world exactly where the studio is. And by studio, I mean my beautiful 800 square foot apartment in cold-ass Chicago, Illinois. But we out here. What's up?
It's chilly.
It's fucking cold. And I'm not about it.
I kind of like it.
I don't know. I'm sick. I got a head full of cold medicine right now. So apologies ahead of time if I sound more unhinged than usual. Because, shit, the sickness has got me. Drinking a little special tea right now. My specialty. Ha ha ha! Got him.
Wink.
So yeah, what's up, everybody? How are you, John?
I'm good, just chilling.
Yeah.
Hanging out.
Tight. Well, stories never stop, even though we stopped recording for most of the week. Stories never stop.
Mm-hmm.
So today, motherfuckers, here it is. It's the Space Force.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Star Wars coming to an orb. What do they call the orbit?
Orbit.
Inner orbit?
The inner orbit, yeah. It's coming to an orbit near you.
Yeah.
Star Wars, it's happening. Well,
Yeah.
Star Wars as in Reagan's Cold War era project to launch satellites into space to shoot down nuclear weapons.
But that was a joke, wasn't it?
No, I mean, it was a real plan, and history has deemed it a joke because it's hilariously silly.
Well, they played it off as like, oh, we were just trying to make the Russians believe we're doing that so they would do that.
Yeah.
And just spend their money.
We're just, for sure.
So I was going to say, like, if that is what we are trying to do, like, why would we try to do that now if we deemed it, like, so... I mean, like, why... Like, if there's no other country with a Space Force, and so far we haven't found any intelligent life outside of space, like, why do we need a Space Force?
It is...
Maybe, for asteroid threats. Like, maybe they want to build, like, some weaponized spaceships that can, like, shoot asteroids or something, or, like...
Yeah.
Because they're supposed to take over, like, everything that oversees, like, space. So, the NASA is probably going to be taking...
No, it's mostly, like...
This.
No, it's like okay, so here's... so this is from Popular Mechanics. According to the draft of the 2020 National Defense Authorization Agreement, also known as the 2020 U.S. Defense Budget, the Pentagon will redesignate the U.S. Air Force's Space Command as the U.S. Space Force, spinning it off from an arm of the Air Force into a separate service. The service will be headed by a chief of space operations, similar to how the U.S. Navy is headed by a chief of naval ops, and consists of the space forces and such assets as may be organic therein, end quote, whatever that means. So it's pretty ambiguous language. So it will cover most of the Air Force space assets from satellite launching facilities like the Vandenberg Air Force Base in California to spacecraft ground control bases like Schriever Air Force Base in Colorado. It'll also include America's network of GPS satellites, the X-37B spaceplane, and other space military assets.
You know what this sounds like to me?
Huh.
Sounds like to me that the breakaway civilization that is the CIA is
Whoa!
trying to make their getaway right now. They're trying to they're like, oh, we're just making a Space Force. Oh, we're on the ships and we're gone.
No, right. Yeah, this is definitely like laying the groundwork for bigger expansion, like military expansions into space. Like NASA is one thing, because as I've said before, like NASA is like doing it for humanity. It's doing it for the sake of the species and curiosity and like expanding the limits of what's possible, right? And this seems like space imperialism project where we're gonna continue
We're gonna be the bad guys from Star Wars.
We're gonna continue being the bad guys. Well, yeah.
But now from Star Wars.
Now from Star Wars, yeah. Now we're gonna fucking laser third world countries into giving us their resources and
we're
shit
just
like
building
that.
a Death Star. It's called a Death Star, but like it's for our protection and
Yeah.
for freedom.
Yeah.
It's really for life.
It's really a freedom star.
Yeah.
It's really the freedom star. Everybody don't, yes, it's blowing up third world countries, but it's really just doing that. It's liberating them from...
Yes, the chosen one has joined up with the terrorist group, the rebels,
Yes.
and is trying to combat us, but he's fallen victim to the dark side.
Yeah. So this is fun. So the Space Force is coming, and this was in a bipartisan spending bill coming from the House of Representatives, which is in control by the Democrats. And now we have throw this in a pile of evidence that shows us the Democrats are not really a pro-peace or anti-Trump party or anything like that. They are also a pro-military, pro-empire party. And there's a very small minority of the 400 plus members of the House that voted against this, which just goes to show that this resistance is pretty fucking weak.
It talked about the budgets approved on this. Did it say anything about the budget?
Yeah, the budget. So this is a $740 billion budget. When Obama left office, the military budget was $600 billion. So yeah, so we have expanded it.
Then how do they how is it like in 2001 they were on that trial for not like being able to account for literally trillions of dollars? How if they only have a budget of like 600 billion, how do they have multiple trillion dollars that they're able to spend and not know where it's at?
Because we print money. That's essentially it. We just print money to pay for wars and shit. And we could just straight print money to, I don't know, invest.
Well, that's not, I mean, if it's bad to print money it's just bad to print money.
Yeah, but
you're inflating your currency.
Yeah, but if we print money as an investment, if we print money for healthcare or for... Instead of just bombing people and giving, contracts to fucking weapons manufacturers and bombs manufacturers and shit like that, then yeah, inflation's gonna be a problem. But if we just use it to invest in, our people, or we could have
to print money for that.
No, we don't. But this is a fucking giant giveaway to the military industrial complex.
It's more than doubling it then, if that's...
No, we have added over $100 billion to the military budget since Trump has been in office, and that it is including.
And now they're adding another $700 billion.
This is about a. This is an additional. Hold on, I gotta pull up the exact number on it. But this is additional funding. Because I remember last year, the House passed a military budget that was...
What's wrong with just funding NASA?
Because NASA's not going to hand contracts to the military-industrial complex. It's that simple.
Yeah, but, how can we explain to people, why they do or don't want this?
That's a great question. I mean, at first it seems really cool and really sci-fi and futuristic and fun.
But their argument against healthcare and free school is that we just don't have the money for that.
Right.
But now they have the money for Star Wars.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. There's no this. Well, it just feeds into the fucking Fortress America, we're always at war, eternal warfare kind of shit.
Unless, if they know something, if there's like an invasion, like impending, then I can get behind that maybe. But like, I need to see some evidence. I want to see the alien. I want to see what they've captured. I want to see the spaceship.
Yeah.
I want to see the anti-gravity.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I want telekinesis.
They could even fabricate that shit if they wanted to.
Maybe.
Because it turns out, this happened a couple weeks ago and nobody made a stink about it. But so much of the reason we went into Afghanistan in the first place, which, by the way, we're still there 18 years later, was fabricated. So all they would have to do is fake a bunch of all they would have to do is take some screen caps from a Halo game and be like, see everybody, they're coming for us. They're coming for us right now. They're blowing up our space station. They took the flag off the moon and replaced it with a fucking alien flag. It's a little, I don't know, it's a little neon trapezoid. We gotta go and blow them up, folks. They could do that, but this is so fucking lazy. And it's just brazen. It's a brazen fucking giveaway. Cute little project.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's what it seems like. Because we talked about the U.S. budget and how there's on a pie chart there's 30% of it is what we they have to agree or disagree upon about how much is going to go to Medicare and how much is going to go to Social Security and all that stuff,
infrastructure and stuff. Yeah.
And the majority of that pie you said was what?
The military, baby.
Yeah. So, and that's stuff that they consider it's not even negotiable whether or not we're gonna.
It's really not, but it's so baked in. I feel like a lot of it's baked into the culture. That's why it's hard. It's really hard to It's really hard to move away from it because even like we're seeing right now. The Democrats aren't not even fighting this,
Mm-hmm.
And the anti-war movement in this country has dissipated to almost nothing. Sadly, they won, and they, meaning the powers that be, they put us into all these endless wars and got us used to it, and now we have people 18 years old enlisting, who don't remember the towers falling, who don't remember what got us in the Middle East in the first place. They don't know what exactly it is that we're fighting for because it's all kind of fucking made up. And it's none of the troops' fault.
I think, well, maybe what goes into a lot of those guys joining up is not really just feeling an emptiness or no purpose. For
sure.
And seeing the way that people I don't want to say glorify it because that makes it sound like I don't appreciate the military and them being there and everything, but the way that they're portrayed and everything, it being a younger guy, not knowing what to do with your life, saying that would be something that you just off, you just would think that would be a generous way to spend your life, or a good male role model kind of. You could see your future self coming out of that.
Yeah.
Then they don't tell you all the reality that goes with it and everything. And you have to be willing to accept a lot of things. If you're going to be going into actual combat and having to follow orders, doing things that you don't want to do, and
right.
I don't know.
I mean, fighting in wars that are technically undeclared. Congress is what has the power to declare war, and Congress gave the power to the executive branch under Bush to just fight any and all kinds of wars that they want. You can send drones over there. We can send drones into countries.
Matter of national. Is that the Patriot Act? Is that?
Yeah, the Patriot Act's part of it too. I mean, it's the War Powers Act.
I heard they just renewed the Patriot Act.
They did. They did. So much for a resistance party. They did just renew the Patriot Act, which is legalized domestic spying of everybody. It gave the NSA a backdoor into every tech company's server space, which means not only does the government have a backdoor, but if a backdoor exists,
It's accessible by anybody who
It's
knows
accessible.
how to
Yeah, exactly.
get there, which...
So, I mean, no, it's not fucking national security. If it was a national security, they wouldn't want to put a backdoor in Google servers and Apple servers.
Plus, like, what did we learn, like, after 9/11? Like, was there any other attack? Or, like, you know, we never had any more plane bombings. Like, all this extra security we added. Like,
we turned our we turned our airports into prisons. I mean, I remember the Bush years, and the hysteria was crazy. I feel like the Bush years were worse than what's going on right now, because I feel like a good amount of the country understands that Trump is insane. But like during the Bush years, everybody was drinking that Kool-Aid. I mean, I remember
that's the best way to get people to.
I remember like, you know, like kids that I was going to school with getting bullied just for being brown and Muslim, or like people to this day are getting fucking threatened and shit because they wear turbans and they're Sikhs. And you know what? Sikhs are not Muslims, people.
Religious freedom too. I mean, that's one of the things that America's founded on.
Yeah. The Islamophobia post 9/11 is like insane. It was insane. And just like the rah-rah war on terror, the freedom fries shit, fucking we'll put a boot in your ass. Like all that shit was crazy.
If you don't like a boot in your ass, then get the fuck out.
Get the motherfucker out. Go to France. And look who's laughing now. France didn't want to join us in a fake war in Iraq, and now we're still fighting fake wars in Iraq and making it worse and creating power vacuums and fucking destabilizing shit all up and down the region, and really setting up shop to starting a war with Iran. This is really kind of all it's gonna be about. It's setting up shop in Afghanistan and around the Middle East, being buddy with Saudi Arabia, which is a dictatorship. Ladies and gentlemen, they killed an American resident.
Got all the oil.
Yeah, I know. It's all fucking money shit. And now we got a space force. So it's...
You know what John F. Kennedy said? He says, keep your enemies close. Or keep your friends close. What did he say? I'm pulling a Bush right now.
Yeah. Keep your enemies closest.
But remember their names.
And your friends... they're your pen pals, folks. All right.
Your friends, be curious about them.
Be curious about your friends.
Don't trust nobody.
Don't trust nobody, but trust your enemies. Because when all your friends bail on you, you'll have the trust of your enemies, and you'll say, "Hey,
at least I could depend on you to be a shit all the time."
Yeah. We'll pat each other on the back, and you know what? We'll bomb some brown people over in Yemen. Yeehaw.
Honky tonk.
Honky tonk. That's a Bush honky tonkism coming from you. Hey, you thought you were done with the Bushisms? No, we got to fresh them out of them here.
Wings take drain.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So fucking Space Force, and it's it's a little baby Space Force right now. So it's gonna be less than 200 personnel right away. 151 Air Force personnel, 24 Army, 14 Navy, 9 additional personnel from the Pentagon, and the U.S. intelligence community. Ultimately, over 15,000 Air Force personnel could cross over into the Air Force. So there's a lot of details to work out, but so far it's like a little baby operation to begin with, but this is where it starts. Opening up a can of Slurm. So good shit. Yeah, we like this is
Slurm sponsor us.
Yeah, Slurm sponsored us. Wagga wagga wigga wagga. I don't know what that slug said from Futurama, but yeah, man, this is wild.
Slam juice.
It's too bad. This is really too bad. Like,
well, people, I didn't even hear about this before you brought it up. To be honest,
this just got passed yesterday.
But why is it getting
came
passed?
Through the house yesterday.
Like, why am I just hearing about it when it gets passed? Is it my fault, or has this been in the news?
Well, Trump has wanted a space force for a while, and
Well, I guess it just doesn't seem like a priority. I don't know. I mean,
No.
unless there's stuff they're not telling us. What are you not telling us?
I don't think it is. There's a real reason for it. I don't think it really
Is Galacticus
is a threat.
real? Is he coming for us?
Could we see it from space? If he was real, could we see it from space? And if we can't see it from space, does that mean we live in a Truman Show globe?
Is this a simulation?
Oh, so is this Space Force like an incoming DLC to the simulation, and you pay for it with your life? Probably.
I don't know.
I mean, you pay for if you join the military, like you were saying before. Like
If you're
I was
going
gonna
to join
say,
the military, what branch would you join?
the Air Force,
Space Force. What are you talking about?
Oh shit! Oh man, I'm getting deported to the sun. God damn it!
Shit.
Wrong answer. But like, I was gonna say before, military does really good recruiting in impoverished neighborhoods that don't have a lot of economic mobility,
That already don't have like, strong male role models in their life typically because, they'll be like single mom mothers.
I think it honestly has more to do with resources though, because like.
But I think that like younger kids growing up without a male role model like is going to make them look for, I don't know, something.
I mean, I think
to
there might
fill
be
that
something to
gap.
say to like how I think Call of Duty has become just straight military propaganda. Like the overabundance of military games and glorifying warfare and making it cool and
I don't know
making
about
it
that.
Oh man,
I think-
all you got to do is look at the ads though, because the U.S. Army ads is all
Okay,
about
maybe that, yeah.
It's all about it's all about glory.
video
It's all
games
about
fill a
cool.
niche.
Yeah, sure.
Which is we used to hunt and everything, like we used to have these things we had to do. It's like an evolutionary like feel good thing. Like when you hit a target. Or
Yeah.
Like complete certain things.
Yeah.
Like these things are geared towards like the fucking the word is like escaping me right now.
No, but like I hear what you're saying, but we could make shooting games based
because
on
the theme is
anything.
warfare
We don't have
now.
to. We don't have to make it about the military is the good guys.
I don't know about that.
They're the ones who
have you played
like.
the hunting games? Hunting games are all right. But
Yeah, but I mean, like Halo is fine. Halo is like distanced enough from reality
I
where
see what
I'm
you
like,
mean now, yeah.
this is fun, this is dope,
For
this
now.
is sci-fi.
We got a Space
for
Force
now,
now.
right? I know.
How long do you think till China's like, well, we got a space force
We
too.
got a space force. We got
Russia's
laser
like,
weapons.
we got a
and shit
space.
like
We've
that.
had a space force this whole time. We kept it a secret.
Well, even then, like laser guns, those beams are going to be invisible. Okay, those laser guns that the Navy is using and working on right now. Those beams are invisible.
Well, it's not like you can see the bullet coming. Anyway.
I know, but I'm saying you gotta sexy it up for the sci-fi. So we can sexy up anything we want.
You know what I just seen yesterday?
What?
Classic movies, Starship Trooper.
Starship Troopers
Fucking
is
amazing.
good.
So good.
Go watch Starship Troopers. It's really good. It's like that's a fucking anti-empire
Reminds
movie,
me of Ender's Game. Have you ever read that book?
Yeah, I have. It's
a great one.
It's a good one. I feel like they're making a movie.
They did make a movie,
Oh, they
and-
did make a movie on that.
It was probably I probably would have liked it if I watched it when I read the book. But
Oh yeah.
being like more of an adult, it just seemed like more of a kid movie. There's some things that they also they left out my favorite part, which was like him playing the game on like he had like that board, like the laptop or something, where he'd play the game where he was like, there's a giant in the tower, and he ends up killing the giant, and then like it like tailors to you. I thought it was interesting.
I just think overall, militarism has seeped so much into our like national identity, and that in and of itself, like
world police.
We're the world police. And it's not even about defense. It's always about going in somewhere else and fixing it, right? It's
You guys
going
don't
in,
know how to live.
It's going in somewhere else and fucking it up and saying like, ha, we figured it out. Ha, We did it with guns. Ha! We did it in camo, and we're the heroes at the end of the day. And, and now we got most of the resistance party voting for a space force. And this is what fucking 20 years of rah-rah military America.
Well, why do you think they agreed on that?
Military contracts,
one of
man.
two things, yeah.
Military contracts.
The Occam's razor is that they just seen money that was going to be getting spent that they can get a piece of.
Sure.
Or there's really like an invasion coming,
and
or
they're
like
not telling us
the
about
end of
it.
the world, or something big's coming, and they're not telling us about it.
Yeah.
But Occam's razor says.
Well, every once in a while, there's like an asteroid that's heading towards us, and they're like,
they're starting to say that
an
more
asteroid,
and more.
An asteroid is going to be within
getting us used to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a beard hair's length of missing us. Oh, maybe one of these asteroids is fucking Galacticus.
A beard hair's length wouldn't like our gravity pull that in or something? Like,
I'm not part of the. I'm not a space. I'm not a Space Force scientist, bro. I don't know what the
How
gravity.
big is this asteroid?
What does that
Does
look
it have
like?
its own gravity force?
Is this what it's going to take for people to get together and mobilize? Because also, I don't know, we've been blasted with sci-fi movies where what is it going to take for people to wake the fuck up and get together and move in as a unit to fight something? It should be climate change, but is it going to take an alien invasion to do it?
How are we going to, like, I don't know, I'm imagining like ships like Starship Trooper where they're loading up with people and stuff to like go put bases on the moon and everything, and like that seems so expensive, not just with money but resources. Like, you know how much like fuel it takes to get a rocket to break away from the Earth's gravitational pull? Like 90% of the weight has to be fuel. Yeah. And I mean I don't know, maybe like with SpaceX they've developed better ways to, like, better fuels or something, I don't know, but like how
they are developing like reusable rockets, which but theoretically will save resources, but
what about
even
like
then,
the fuel?
And the fuel is the big one, especially since burning fuel is literally strangling the planet.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get into, is like the whole fucking the climate disaster crisis thing that is going on. Like, now if we start upping, like what are they planning on doing with the space force?
Is this part of the billionaire flight? Is this part of the flight off the planet? Are they trying to accelerate the climate crisis?
Nah, I don't know.
I don't know.
They probably wouldn't do that, but like I think it would be more them like masking their escape.
Yeah.
Or whatever. They're like, oh, we just want to have bases on the moon and on Mars. Like,
yeah,
no reason.
Oh, now we're just
building a big ark. Like, we're just building a big ark spaceship, and like, just in preparation, we just want to get it out in orbit. Just so it's out there.
Yeah.
Like, so if anything goes bad with getting the launch, we know. We just want it out
just
there.
in case. Oh, we got luxury suites.
We're gone.
We got luxury suites on the space station, right? Yeah. We got a luxury resort on the space station, right? Yeah. Just in case. Hey, all you have to do is drop $4 million, and you can stay on the luxury suite for a couple of weeks.
Hey, Drake's on there.
Rihanna,
right? You got who else?
That's everybody. What? There is going to be a point where they're going to try to break international law in space and say, hey, there's no laws in space. All right? We can zap people from space if we want to. Hey, there's no laws in space, right? And then it's going to get to a point where I saw today, they're holding something like $20 trillion of wealth in overseas accounts. They're just going to shoot all that as Bitcoin into the rich people's space station and be like, hey, there's no taxes in space. Peace.
Nice. Huh? It's uncharted territory.
For real. Well, that's why we got to get in on this.
What's going to happen is they're going to make a new country in space. But only like the wealthy elite.
Oh, so this
citizens.
is the like the libertarian utopia, but since the ocean is going to be all poisoned and shit, like space is the...
It's going to be like in America where they had to make laws to keep people from voting who they didn't deem prestigious enough, like landowner laws and everything.
Yeah.
Like now it's going to be
white people.
Now it's going to be like we're only going to populate it with people we deem worthy.
That is truly like years of libertarian fantasy. Is just everybody with money moving them into a secluded, self-sufficient community that's super futuristic.
They're gonna get up there. They're gonna be like, "This fucking sucks.
This sucks. All this art sucks.
I gotta constantly be popping blood pressure like medicine and everything." And
yeah, I mean the art is gonna be terrible.
Dramamine, I'm getting sick.
If it's always, if it's only rich people,
I just wish I could hear a running faucet or like a running babbling brook or something.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the money is that good. Maybe being rich feels that good.
Or you just get like that, like, in your head about it to where you're just like, you're on your mattress that has all your money in it or under it. And just like, this is mine. This is mine. Everybody stay away. This is mine.
Gollum in the fucking cave in Lord of the Rings, just like, precious, precious. Hey, Mr. Musk, bingo's in a couple minutes. You want to come join us? Precious. Cybertruck. Fuck that. Well, the alternative is we just seize all that shit, yo. We got to seize that technology, make it the people's technology, okay?
But the scary thing is, like, if the CIA has been able to run away with this technology and, like, experimentation without regulation and everything, like, for so long, like, what if, like, they just have, like, they've like they could be experimenting on themselves genetically to where like they have just superior intelligence. Like they could just they could be so superior to us by now or something that like they're truly a breakaway civilization on Earth. Like the stuff that they deal with are things that we don't even imagine. Like they don't even remember what it's like to live a normal life.
Like this Space Force is just the tip of the iceberg of of the technology that they're developing.
The Space Force is just them trying to slowly get us into like understanding like the stuff that they've been dabbling in for all this time. Like they want to get us used to like being in space and stuff and everything. So they'd be like, yeah, so we've actually been accepted into like the galactic society, like back in the 50s, but we didn't want to tell you guys back then, and now they're making us tell you. I don't know.
Have you seen any of the Boston Dynamics robots?
Like the dog-looking
dog-looking things, yeah. And how like 5 years ago they were janky as shit, and I was just looking at a video of them this year where they're doing there's there's a group of like 20 of these like little robot terriers doing robot terrier ballet. It's amazing. Yeah, but terrifying.
If they thought like if they're programmed to target you, like they move so quickly, they can jump so high, like
it's like that's scary. That's scary as fuck.
They don't get tired, like their battery will run out. They don't have to eat.
They could even be solar powered, I
heard about like some kind of a robotic animal called like the eater robot or something where like it sustains itself off of biological matter, which is flesh.
What?
Yeah.
I hate that.
Right?
I hate this. Why?
Well, so we don't have to give it gas, Like you got all this during warfare. You got all these dead bodies out there. Just like clean it up while you're also attacking the predator.
Yeah, fuck sending them back to their loved ones for a proper burial. Like what international law says that we should do. Just feast on their remains like some kind of mechanical evil vampire military. Everybody, let's. This is scary territory we're entering into.
My biggest thing is the money. Like, why are we spending so much money on this? Like, when there's so much, like, our infrastructure's falling apart in the country. Like,
there's so much money to be made by private corporations. This was the problem.
I know, but people need to be outraged. Like, they weren't outraged enough about net neutrality. Like,
no, yeah. Well, it's also kind of the foundation of the country's economy. Like, after, like, World War II was what brought us out of the Depression. It was all of that, you know, we nationalized
every country, like,
all
owed
this
us a
shit.
shitload of money.
Well, we had a massive industrial revolution. We were building tanks, building all this shit, and still to this day,
and nobody attacked us. We didn't have to rebuild anything here on in the US. Like, we were fine. We were just going to fight other people, like, later on in the warfare. We never really, like, other countries, it was the war effort. Like, everybody was doing in that country was the war effort. Like, all men, women, and children, if you were of age, you were in the war effort. You were fighting. If you were a woman or if you were a child, you were making bullets. You were, like,
rationing
doing
shit.
something to help the war effort. Here, we didn't have that. Like, we didn't have to do that. We were just making shit to sell to these people, buying their debts, and, like, getting out of the war. We were, like, fucking great. That's why you know, there were fucking jobs, like, you know, like, everybody just had, like, you know, good jobs. You come home from the military, you're, like, the travel agent for fucking Pepsi Cola or whatever the fuck, or, like, you know, like, where your job is just like a title where you get paid just because, like, you know, we have a shitload of money right now or whatever.
Yeah.
And, like, they just pissed it away. And now we don't have that.
And to this day, though, like, one of the only things we manufacture in this country is weapons and bombs and tanks and shit like that. And it's not sustainable, y'all. And this is it's an economic issue, but, like, socially, where is the anti-war movement? Where did it go? Where are we at? We should be screaming in the streets. I remember when we were about to, I mean, I was a kid, but I still remember we were about to invade Iraq and people were marching in the streets. No blood for oil. I remember that. And then it kind of just all dissipated. And then we had a nice smiling face of the empire under the Obama years, and then it's especially dissipated. And now we're a fucking militarized country. And like I said, I don't, like, we should have a military, but we should be about defense and not trying to expand and extract as
China,
much
like,
profit.
How China has, well, I don't want to say how China has gotten to be at the position they're at, because a lot of that did come from, like, a sacrifice from the citizens.
Yeah,
like,
it did.
And their work and everything.
It did.
But, you know, part of their thing was always, like, you know, we don't want to fuck with all you guys out there. We're just going to focus on China. We're going to, like, grow China.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't agree with the message that they grow China with, but, like, why can't we do that? Like, why can't we're just going to fuck with America right now. We're going to, like, spend on our infrastructure and everything. Like, we don't want to be, like, you guys do what you're going to do. Like, somebody else, like, focus on, I don't know. Like, it's hard to say because, like, you know, when you have something like nuclear warheads or whatever, it scares everybody, because, especially us, because we were, not us, like, as me, but, like, the U.S. were the ones that dropped the bombs. Like, you know, like, we were the ones that took it to that stage. You know, like, when, like, in World War I, like, everything changed. You know, warfare before that was just like chess. You know, like, oh, you take a little bit of my land, I'm gonna take it back later, or whatever. You know, but then World War One hit, and it was like, okay, now all we're doing is war. I'm gonna win. Yeah. Or I'm gonna kill you, or I'm gonna die. Or
it's
whatever.
about, like, maiming as much as possible. Yeah.
And I'm losing my
World War One, then World War Two. What? Like, World War Two was so, that times a million, and then we dropped the bombs.
Yeah, the bombs. Okay, so we dropped the bomb. That's like, you know, that was like, you know, saying that, you know, this is no longer a game, and, like, I'm willing to kill up my country as much as your country. Like that's like a bunch of kids, you know, like, where, like, you know, that one kid who, like, just cries and throws a fit when they don't get their way and everything, and, like, that's like dropping the bomb on somebody.
And then that kid brings a gun to the playground, and everyone's like, whoa!
Like, oh, I bet we're gonna play tag now, huh? Fuck hide and seek, right?
Yeah. I mean, essentially, yeah, and like the mutually assured destruction as a peacekeeping theory is insane. That is not, if you have a bunch of countries with a gun pointed to each other's head and we're all tense about it, that is not a good place to be.
We already seen in World War One when during that time everybody was allied up. So like, and we were all trading, it was all profitable, everything was going great, and they're like, there's no way we would ever go to war because it's so profitable not to be at war. And they're like, there's so many, and also if we did go to war, everybody has ties with each other, that everybody would get pulled into this war.
Right.
They're like, that doesn't make sense. So like right now we're saying, oh, like it doesn't make sense for us to attack you, because if we attack you, you're going to attack us and we're all going to die. So like, it's the same bullshit, but like if somebody's willing to go that far, like we've seen like North Korea, like since they have nuclear weapons, if that guy's fucking insane, like what reason does he own that country? Because his dad killed somebody one time and like now his dad's dead, or he killed his brother or something? That sounds like a psychopath, and who doesn't give a fuck about anybody else but himself.
It's truly old school shit too.
Yeah.
Like how, becoming,
so
yeah.
He did, like, if he shoots, I don't know. It's just, it's really, it's not it's even worse than in World War One, when all there was just like agreements, like where, okay, if you go to war, we'll go to war too. Like that was it.
Yeah.
And you've seen the damage from that. Like now it's like, okay, if you shoot us with a nuke, we're gonna shoot all our nukes back at you. It's just,
yeah, and now there's this like weird new axis in the world where we as in the country, like the president is now aligning himself with authoritarian leaders in Brazil and Turkey and Israel and Saudi Arabia, the Philippines. This is fucking scary shit. And like, yes, there is a profit motive, but there's also the fucking race issues. We got Bolsonaro in Brazil, who's committing a genocide of the indigenous people that are protecting the Amazon rainforests. We've got Erdogan in Turkey, who wants to fight all these fucking, like, he wants to fight sectarian rebels and invade Syria and shit like that. And then everybody we are lined up with, we want to go to war with Iran. Israel wants to go to war with Iran. Israel is already committing a genocide against Palestinian people. Like, all of the profit motives feed into the racial issues, and then the racial issues feed into the profit motive, and it's an endless fucking cycle. And like, God damn it, everybody, like, we're funding genocides, like, oh, we're selling bombs that are hella profitable to Saudi Arabia, and they're turning around and using those bombs to commit a genocide in Yemen. We can't
genocide by proxy.
I mean, yeah, but like, we're down for it. Both parties in this country down for it. That's why there needs to be a strong anti-war movement in this country, and we need to bring it back. Right now, there's like, it's like Code Pink is like one organization that I can think of, and that's it. We gotta seize all that shit. You know what I'm saying? No more bombs. Let's just feed our people. Let's take all this, pulling back from last week. Let's take all this industrial energy we had from World War II. Let's turn it towards the climate crisis, right?
All I'm saying is a bunch of our tax money is going to go to Panama here if this thing continues to go through. It's just going to be a funnel of funneling away our money, where it's just like, oh, it's going to Space Force. Space Force. The Space Force.
Space Force. It's dope.
You see
it's
it?
up there. You see it? Yeah.
There it goes.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, that's it. There it goes again.
You couldn't see the American flag from the moon, or on the moon from Earth. But now we got an American flag.
We got a field planted of red, white, and blue moonflowers. And now you can see it.
Now you can see that shit.
That's Space Force.
That's
right?
where your fucking money's
Where did your money
going.
go? Yeah.
every time you see the moon, all right, I need you to step outside every day when you see the moon, and I need you to salute that moon, all right? I need you to salute that moon, because now...
And pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the moon of the United States...
Of the United States of
America. All right?
One nation under moon.
Indivisible, with Space Force and justice for all. For all. That's everybody.
It's going to be like Starship Trooper, though, where you, like, to be a citizen, you need to be in the forces, in the U.S. like the military.
Ugh.
And if you're not, there's citizens, and then there's pedestrians. What are they called?
Civilians.
Civilians,
yeah.
Yeah, to where like the civilians are like, those are like, it's clearly a class divide.
Sure.
Where, like, as a citizen, you get access to the Capitol and or whatever the fuck. Like,
Yeah. Could we hold the entire planet hostage from space? Maybe this is the end game.
Yeah.
Like, we just, like, set up the Freedom Star on the moon.
Especially if they break away civilization, where most of the people, like, that anybody would, like, they're up there in space, and they're like, we're gonna nuke you. And they're like, oh, well, we're gonna nuke your country or whatever. Like, well, we're in a spaceship, we'll zip away real quick.
Yeah, we'll go, but...
Like, we don't give a fuck about the country down there or all the people. We left all the poor people down there.
Yeah.
Me included.
Yeah, no, we're here. We're definitely down here, just like screaming into the sky.
Shaking my fist at you.
Fuck you, Musk! Yeah, it's gonna be all the fucking billionaires on the moon, on the Freedom Star, and they're just gonna hold us all hostage from space and just like giving them resources and, you know, writing fun sitcoms because they're still gonna want to watch TV on space. But goddamn,
like, okay, Jeff Bezos up there, he's like, okay, I'll still ship you guys stuff if you send us some TV new shows.
Yeah,
Give us some new shows.
He's gonna be pulling all these fucking Amazon warehouse levers from the moon.
Just sending care packages.
Yeah. We gotta.
On my diabetes medication here yet?
No, it got lost. It's got stuck in orbit, bro. Sorry.
Oh. Gummit.
Yeah, we could create like a people's space force, like a people's NASA, or just like co-op NASA and make it, you know, belong to everybody, and I don't know, like maybe have like a space, like a Star War against the billionaire class. Sign me up.
Damn.
Oh, Bezos is here.
You heard you say.
Yeah.
Here's your plan.
Bezos is... Oh, man.
All right, say it real quick. The plan is everybody joins up a space force, and then we'll do a military coup.
Yeah,
we're going to be up in space.
We're going
to hold everybody hostage.
Yes. Yeah. Well, not everybody.
Well, you know.
Yeah. Just like Bezos.
The powers that be.
The powers that be. Wall Street. All that shit. Yeah. Oh, they're taking me away.
Brendon! Brendon! No, you bastards!
I'm back. It may seem like my eyes are glowing red and my teeth are metallic, but it's me, John. I'm back.
Something's wrong with him.
I'm fine. My cold is gone. Bezos injected me with some space serum. I'm totally cool, but I need you, John. I need you to realize that this show has gone too far. Okay?
I don't know.
All these
Brendon
bits,
wouldn't say that.
All these bits about billionaires are just people too. They just worked harder than you and me, okay? And you just stop being so jealous about everybody.
I'm not
all right?
jealous.
Okay?
I mean, yeah, sure, I want money, but like...
Maybe Jeffrey Epstein is just a entrepreneur?
Are you trying to say Jeffrey Epstein's a good all-American guy?
He had been dealing with some depression, and he unfortunately took his life.
All right, this is not Brendon. I don't believe you. Brendon would never say that.
Okay, you got me. It's me, Jeff Bezos.
It's actually me, Jeffrey Epstein.
It's What a great
alive.
cover. What a great cover that would be.
I shaved my head and became a billionaire.
Yeah, that's me, guys. It's fucking me. Yeah, but what? This future is so fun, huh?
Well, I mean, it's exciting, no less. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I just remember when people were freaking out over Russia sending a satellite into space. Because they were the first ones.
something that all it was doing was beeping.
Literally, it was just like floating around
It's
the
like,
Earth.
I'm over here.
Yeah.
Now I'm over here.
I'm over here. And now, like, Musk has got, like, thousands of satellites. He's blocking all of our telescopes with his
He's
fucking...
interfering with our search for alien life forms.
Yeah. Which, like, maybe he's an alien. Maybe he's, like, playing interference
Maybe
for the
he's a
alien
reptilian.
race.
You know, I watched
do you
another
think
great movie last night, They Live,
They Live, yeah.
which is documentary.
We covered that one. Covered that one a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Musk is a reptilian, though. If you think he was any of the aliens, he'd be a
I don't
reptilian.
know. It's hard to say.
He seems
mostly
kind of...
because, like the information I have about aliens is like, it could be from Musk himself. You know,
God
like,
damn it.
who knows? You know,
It's just like controlled opposition.
yeah. Like even the it's like the red pill and the blue pill. It's both coming from the bad guy.
Damn. Wait. Morpheus is the bad guy in the Matrix?
No, he's not. Morpheus is.
Oh, okay.
the best.
No, but you're saying in this
But
in
in
this
this case,
situation in
yeah.
this case, yeah.
In this
Must
case.
yeah. I feel that. Yeah. Yeah. Amazing, everybody. Well, nothing phases anybody anymore. You know, we're so deep into the simulation falling apart that nothing surprises anybody anymore. I feel like we got pretty fucking numb after a reality TV star won the presidency. Everything kind of went out the window. You know, the simulation started falling apart. Well, honestly, when the Cubs won the World Series, I was like, that's it. Trump's gonna win the election.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like, oh, we're in end times.
This is end time shit. Yeah, like
Or like 2012 really wiped us out. And we're living we're in a fantasy world.
we're living in a like the afterglow of the apocalypse.
I don't know. The simulation went online in 2012.
Yeah, maybe.
So many things.
How much to be like a member of the simulation where you can like, I don't know, can you buy credits and like buy DLC and shit for
it's
the
probably just
simulation?
cost your soul.
Your soul?
Maybe your soul is like some kind of, it's like it's your free choice. In the world of simulation, like mathematics and everything, the only thing you have is choice. So where in the Matrix, where like your choice is to succumb to the simulation or to oppose it. And opposing it wakes you up. And so what they found in the Matrix is by giving people that free choice, because people need the free choice to accept it. If they don't have free will, they won't accept it. So like at first the first Matrix they made was a perfect society, as a utopia. But in a utopia you can't have free will, because for everybody to have free will, there's going to be fucking bad motherfuckers that just fuck up everything.
Yeah.
So in a utopia, you're not allowed to have free will. And so also who's determining what is the utopia? Well, whatever. But like,
is this what you think, or is this like the rules of the Matrix?
this is the rules of the Matrix.
Okay.
This is like this is the truth. In the Matrix, they made 6 iterations of the Matrix. That's what they told us in the Matrix 3 or 2 or whatever. And the first one was a utopia, but people kept waking up from it because like it's felt like a dream. There's things that they wouldn't do or whatever. And so like in a simulation, like you have to factor in that free choice. And so your soul is your choice. Like, what do you do with, like, so you can either choose to sell your soul to, you know, what would be the devil or whatever, and then you'd be rich as fuck, and like, you know, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, you know, Nick Cannon, or or
the worst of all of them.
or you can choose to not do that, and you will suffer immensely
by waking up in like the real world,
you wake
right?
up
in like Zion or whatever.
Yeah. So I don't know. Who knows?
Interesting.
That's what the Matrix says.
Would
Which they're coming out with the Matrix 4.
Yeah, it's coming out next year.
It's probably going to be good because they had a long time to write this script. So.
Yeah, they have a long time. There's a lot of cultural breakthroughs. You know,
a lot of shit happened.
We've been dealing with a lot of shit collectively since the last one came out. You know,
Trinity's going to be the new one. Neo went inside her, and now.
Wait, spoilers. Trinity died at the end of the third one, right?
I know, but so did Neo. So why is Neo back too? Because he's the one. I don't know. Did he? Is he in this one?
Yeah. Keanu Reeves is back.
Well, there's another thing is that they have these iterations. There's always the one. Neo's always so maybe Neo's always the same. But in Animatrix, Neo is not always the one. Where Neo is the one in one iteration of the Matrix, and another one it was a female, a totally different person. Didn't look like him. So I don't know.
I hope they don't make the Animatrix non-canon anymore.
Right? Because that was so perfect.
It was dope.
Honestly, I was going to bring it back saying, earlier where I said Morpheus was not a bad guy, where he's not. But where the blue pill and the red pill all coming from the same bad guy, it makes sense, when you consider the Animatrix, because, humans were kind of the bad guys. We were the ones who were always attacking the androids and never let them be free because we're afraid of them. And we're afraid of being, overshadowed by them, and which we would have been. And so then, that started the whole war. So we were the bad guys. Also, if you consider, the possibility that if the AI is as smart as they would be, then maybe they'd have multiple levels of the simulation to where even what we think is reality in that movie, Zion, is still another simulation where it just waking up, it fixes the whole choice problem because they do make the choice to wake up, but then they're okay, now I'm really awake, right? But even at the end of the trilogy, Morpheus at the end, who his name is symbolic as a dreamer or something in mythology or something, and at the end of the movie, he said in the third one, he says, "I can't believe this is real. Am I dreaming right now?" So it kind of hints that there might be
multiple layers
of the simulation, and even if there's not,
it's torturous.
Even if there's not, this is the sixth time that they've done all this. They just have a process of which they make the Matrix better, and even what's so wrong with the Matrix? It's is the real world way better? There's no sun anymore. Or we blocked it out, and you can't grow anything. You have to live underground, or you can live in the Matrix. In that movie, the robots are always the benevolent force. They're always trying to help us.
The robots?
Yeah.
You mean what about the Sentinels are always chasing after them to fucking blast them?
That's because Morpheus and Neo are terrorists to the thing. They're trying to wake people up into the world of hell, which sucks. The world sucks in the Matrix that you're waking up into. And your only thing you have is that you believe you're fighting the robots to wake everybody up into that world of hell. Which is how do you justify that?
It really depends on if the Matrix is an acceptable simulation. Is it a if you eat he's eating that steak, and if you eat a steak in the Matrix, does it taste better than a steak in real life?
Well, even if it does, that steak in real life is not sustainable. We see that now.
That's god damn it, that's true. Well, so the Beyond Burger is a simulation.
Well, the Beyond Burger might give you some kind of cancer in 10 years. You'll grow tits or something.
We really don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
It's not healthier.
It's it may be marginally healthier.
It's not
but
better
it's still,
for you. No, it's just bread.
It's still
just bread.
Yeah, it's hella processed.
Yeah. It's not better for you. It's just
hella processed.
It's just not. You're just not eating meat. How about
Yeah.
you don't be a fat piece of shit and you just eat a fucking salad? Like what the fuck?
Whoa.
Don't go to Burger King.
No, I'm not trying to fat shame anybody here. You can be fat. You can be beautiful.
You can be fat. I'm just saying, don't be like, oh, I'm being healthy and I'm saving the planet. You know what? Eat a salad. You're saving the planet too, and you're doing a little. You're giving yourself nutrients.
And you're like, yeah, no, I feel that.
Good nutrients.
Eat a salad. Yeah.
Eat a salad. They're not that great, but.
But they can also be pretty
you
good.
You put in olives or something, like you spice it up with something nice.
Yeah, you know what's really good on most salads? Goat cheese.
There you go.
And I learned recently that goats are comparatively more sustainable than cows are. Goats need less resources to
And they also they'll eat anything.
Yeah, they'll eat anything.
If you don't want to finish your dinner, just throw your dinner into their dinner bowl.
The goat slot.
Now you don't have like a bunch of trash going to the whatever landfill. The fucking pit, the landfill.
Yeah.
Just have them eat that shit, and then you milk them, you eat them, and also I heard that their milk has less like lactose or something that's intolerant to most people, or
great,
or it's better for you. Like,
great.
It's like you're more able to like process it better in your body or something. So like it's just a win-win.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
What are we doing, people?
Goat cheese.
I'm
salads.
Yeah.
No Impossible. Only eat an Impossible Burger if you like the taste of it.
I get it. Some people are like, "Oh, I could never give up a burger or steaks or bacon."
Yeah,
you know what? Here's my hot take. I could never give up meat. You're weak. Yeah. You're fucking
and
weak.
And also, like, if you wanna spoil yourself and everything, and you're like, like you don't have to give up meat either. Just like if you were to have like a burger every like twice a month or something, or like if you just cut back, if everybody cut back,
it would do a lot. Please, for the love of God, for the love of the planet, everybody,
for your health.
Also talking about fucking propaganda, the agriculture propaganda in this country has made it.
I'm not even asking you to do anything for anybody else.
Fucking
yourself.
The agriculture propaganda has made everyone think that we have to eat meat every fucking meal, drink milk all the time. You don't. You really don't. Eat a salad, okay? Eat some bread. It's fine. We don't really need to be eating this much protein, everybody. Oh, I could never give up bacon.
You're not an athlete, all right? You're not a bodybuilder. Exactly. Right? You're not on the Patriots.
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck.
Right. Like, JJ Watt eats 6 chickens a day or some shit like that. JJ Watt can eat 6 chickens a day. Fine. You?
I want to see what he can do.
Yeah, I want to see. Yeah, fine. But if you're in IT, okay, if you work at an office, you don't need to be eating meat 3 meals a day.
Honestly, we can all just sustain ourselves off microdosing acid.
I don't know what is the.
It takes away your appetite. It makes you more creative, more. Coders do it in Silicon Valley.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do.
Coding for hours.
We're gonna microdose on acid, and we're gonna code the perfect Beyond Meat that is sustainable, tastes good, and
you know how we figure out if we're in a simulation?
What?
We code a virus for it.
Code a virus?
We try to code a virus to get us out.
What?
I don't know.
That would look like a plague.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, like almost anything would be a good representation for like that virus.
What? Maybe the climate change is the virus. Maybe
that's the patch. It's like, all right, new problem, society. Figure this out.
I don't know. Society.
And then they're like, what if the only answer is, you can now there can only be 500,000 people on the planet.
Is that what?
Have you heard of the Georgia Guidestones?
No.
It's like this monument in Georgia, and like it was commissioned by some rich guy or whatever, and it just has like these statements on it, like there shall never be more than 500,000 people in the planet or whatever, like. And there's set 8 billion damn near, like, so
yeah,
you have to kill that many people to get it to that. It's a bunch of these. It's really weird. Nobody knows really where it came from, but it's a bunch of these like commandments almost of like just weird things, like a new 10 Commandments. And like recently, like 6 years ago, like a new block was put into it, like for 2016.
Wild. What was that block?
It had the year 16 on it. 2016.
Yeah, but what did it say for us to do?
Nothing. It just had 16, and it was just like the date of 2016. Like they just added. All they said was like, "All right, updating 2016. This is still up to date. We still believe this," or something. Like it was weird. Like I don't know. Some people think it's the Illuminati. What they plan. Like
I don't fucking believe in rocks. Okay,
I'm not saying to believe in rocks, but we talk about billionaires and how they're insane. A rich guy funded this, all right? And if there's a billionaire boys club and girls club of people, and this is what they believe, like, then that means that there's a lot of us that are gonna be killed.
I wouldn't put it past them to have genocidal beliefs. I really wouldn't.
No, I mean, me neither.
They're already the fucking climate. Yeah, this.
And it wouldn't be racist. It wouldn't be sexist or anything. It would strictly be classist. Or like,
oh no, the like brown people are going for it. Is a race thing. The brown people are going first.
I would see them almost just being like looking at anybody who is like lesser wealth than them, or like not even, I don't know, like just you being in that state, you probably imagine like, I am the epitome of the human species. Like, look at how much money I was. Like, look at how good I was at living life. I got all this money. The thing you're supposed to do, I did a bunch of it, and like. So that you would think you're like the purest like form of life. So anybody less than you, like, doesn't matter if you're black, white, gay, woman, a man, or whatever the fuck, like, you're less than me because you don't have any money, and I have all of your money. Your money specifically.
I mean, where we're at in history, where those people at in history, at the very like. You know, we're hurtling towards the end of capitalism. The entire 200-year history of capitalism has been mostly like race based. It's been racially based on exploiting black and brown people, whether it's slavery or sweatshops or prison labor or setting up factory farms outside of poor black and brown neighborhoods in the South or whatever. And then like the climate change, it's all hitting Pacific Islands first. It's hitting like in Houston, like all these floods are hitting. We got 100-year flood, another 100-year flood, a 500-year flood, a 1,000-year flood with Harvey. And all of this shit hits black and brown neighborhoods the most. If you live in a 100-year floodplain that's getting hit over and over and over and over and over again by floods, if you're living near these bayous, chances are that is a rental property. Chances are it's an apartment complex. Chances are it's in a black or brown neighborhood. And you're getting hit the hardest, and you're the last to recover from shit like this, So, I mean, yeah, whatever. That's the history of the global South versus the global North, the history of exploitation, imperialism, capitalism, la 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 la. And we're pushing that history into space now. So, can't wait for that shit.
Mm-hmm. So now that there's gonna be a space force, what do you think they're gonna have? Like, do you think they're gonna have? Well, I don't know. I was gonna say like if they're gonna have like an issue with SpaceX or like, Virgin Mobile X or whatever, like space, whatever the fuck. But there's already like a Air Force that
yeah, no, those companies are gonna get military contracts. Yeah. We're gonna contract them out to do shit like that. Well,
they're already doing that.
NASA's already contracting SpaceX to send cargo flights to the International Space Station and shit like that. So it's already happening. It's gonna be a continuation of that, and then we'll see once we find some moon rocks that could power our hyperdrives or something like that. And watch out, everybody. So we'll end on that.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
article.
Wake up from the Matrix, yo. Everybody wake up.
Ask questions.
Ask some questions. Take that.
Yeah. Why did you know why did everybody agree with Trump on his space thing? Like all the people that were in place that would have been like, you know what, I don't see the value, or I don't understand why we should spend that money, or like all that stuff. Why did nobody have anything to say about that? Why did they all agree, both sides? You know, like that never agree on anything. Oh, SpaceX, that makes sense.
Space Force, baby.
Space Force, yeah, that makes sense. Like, doesn't that raise a few questions for you?
A lot of red flags.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Fuck that. Got anything to plug? Tight. Same.
This show.
Yeah. Listen to this show. Subscribe to this show. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes if, like, seriously, like, it could really help with expanding our audience and getting people to listen to our voices. You know what I'm saying?
You like the cut of our jib?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah. So other people might like the cut of our jib as well. Okay. And if you're in Chicago, and you or someone you know might be a good guest for the show, you know, send us an email. Yeah, or leave a comment somewhere. You know, connect with us on Facebook. We're open to having some friends on and talking good talk. You know what I'm saying? All right. Bye, y'all.
We won't accept check or his global color cousin. Cause everything is everything and everything's illusion. Come here, watch you got a solution.